who you are now started at that point. Fair enough, you had great role models in your father and the small circle around you, but I think there was something indicative, something that was bubbling from a young age that you had. And how did that drive your kind of motocross career at that age?
It was when you start anything new, you kind of go through a lot of natural adversity because you're new to it. It's a new skill, different environments. There's 30 bikes on a line, everyone in a line waiting for one gate to drop. And you're literally just watching it, revving the bike. As soon as it goes, everyone goes together. And it's just this skill that kind of you just get better at over time. And I think when you're younger, I can now reflect on it and be like, I don't think I thought much, I just did. And that's what flow really is, when you just grasp things and you feel things and you can just be in that moment.
Right.
And when you're a kid, you're probably always in that a lot of the time, just whatever comes natural. And then 5, there was a moment, and and my dad was, maybe because he'd stopped, I don't know, and we've never actually spoken about this, and I've never actually delved deep enough and far back enough to even talk about it, but there was a moment, and he was always I remember my mum saying, stop being so hard on him. My mum was I can cry to my mum, I can talk to my mum. My dad was, come on son, crack on.
Yeah.
My dad's ex-military, that's all he knew.
Yeah.
That's how he was brought up. He was in Afghan. He'd been to very different situations. So his masculinity was more of a, we crack on, we get on with it, get your bag on.
As is with most men.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. So then there came a point, and I knew I'd made a mistake in a race, and I was dreading coming off. I was dreading going back to the van because I knew what I'd get. And you know what? It was never out of like anger. I think it was more, I know you can do better. So I think it came from that place rather than you're not good enough. It was more about, why are you doing that? And I broke down. I think I was about...
Before you got to the van?
No, when I got to the van, it was building up. I knew it was coming. And then got there and I was waiting for it. And he started telling me about how like I could have done better. And there was one thing, and he'll probably listen to this and cry himself, but I remember it. And it was if you ride like that, we're not fucking coming again. And I said, you know what? People who know my dad know he's such a passionate and loving person. So it never came from a bad place. But as a kid, that was probably a lot of pressure to carry. And I broke down in my helmet, grabbed my goggles off, threw them, and I was sobbing, tears down my helmet. I was covered in mud from racing, and I was like, maybe if you stopped shouting at me, I'd start winning. I remember that line, and I remember it right now, like it's still ingrained.
What was it? Was it the disappointment of making the mistake? Was it him shouting?
I think it was the disappointment of letting my dad down and being worried to make a mistake. One, because no kid wants to be shouted at because it's like you've done a bad thing, but also I want to make you proud and you're not.
Why?
Don't know. I don't know where it came. Where did that come from?
I asked this because I like to explore the dynamics of heroism and how we as males are trained to have these superheroes that we see, right?
Yeah.
Notwithstanding the fact that usually the superheroes, the first ever superheroes we ever learn to really adore, live within our households.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's a toxic or abusive, it's always that person's always in your household.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to unearth, what was it about him that made you feel like you needed to make him proud?
I think it was, and this comes from a lot of like self-work that I've done over the years. Maybe it was because I felt worthy, or I got a lot of applause because I was good at things.
Okay.
And that validated me from a very young age, because naturally what I touched, I became good at.
Okay.
From a sporting aspect. And I'd get a lot of praise from doing good things. I'd be the first picked at football. I'd be a captain, maybe you'd pick the teams.
Yeah.
I was top goal scorer for the year.
Still like that now, aren't you?
Kind of like, but, yeah. Never leaves you.
Yeah.
But definitely much more grounded now. And yeah, I think it really did come from a validation and a lack of self-worth, but you don't realize when you're younger that what you attach yourself to, and I attach myself to praise, and praise means you've done good, and not a telling off, but that wasn't good enough, is you failed. So yes, I wanted to make him proud, but also I just didn't want to feel like I wasn't good enough.
I hear that.
And we're talking about when I was 6 and 7, never mind when I was 25, 26. And that's when the real kind of struggle came, and we'll probably get to that. But yeah, so it started quite young. But then ever since I erupted and did that, he stopped shouting at me, or he still said that was really good, but what could have been better, and let me kind of self-analyze my performance.
Yeah.
And then I became British champion back-to-back for 3 years. I then won multiple regional championships. So I think there was maybe 3 or 4 regional championships that we did every year. I'd be the one to win those, all 3 of them, for the next 3 years on the bounce.
That's good fatherhood.
Yeah.
Very, very good fatherhood. The fact that he could, in that moment, not make it about him and make it all about you and your development is incredible fatherhood. Kudos to him.